Hey, YouTube, Facebook, what's up? It's Asmar Wedge. Yo, man, I wanted to, I love sharing my experiences anyway, but I wanted to share, a conversation me and my father had tonight about, black history and what it means to be black and so-called black. And it's just funny that I just happened to be, taking the kids, loading them up to go see this new movie, Black Panther. And, man, it was at least 100 cars on both sides of the highway trying to get into this little parking lot for the drive-in movies in Atlanta on Moreland Avenue. But, nevertheless, while I was talking to my father, you know, I love talking to him about blackness because he got a lot of history. You know, I was born in the nation, the real nation. And, you know, my father was like, he didn't really dig the movie because of the fact that there's always, when it comes to black upliftment in America, there's always let me put it like this. When they're talking about the white man in America, you know, just say Batman. You know, he's a rich white man living in Gotham City, and he's like a hero, a real American hero. But when you see a black man, it can't be an African American, so-called African American. It can't be an indigenous black American. It has to be a black American from Africa, or, you know, or else the black man got to be a criminal or something. If it's in Hollywood, if a black man is playing in a movie, he's a thief, a murderer, he's a criminal, drug dealer, a pimp. But here it is, we got a movie where almost all black cast and a real big awaited movie about black people, and it's an African who's the king, you know. And my father's not racist, and I'm not racist by far. You know, we worship a God that made the best man on the world be an Arab. So, you know, we're not racist. But you can't, as a Muslim, you have to identify yourself by your culture. And, you know, that you have to recognize your culture and your heritage. And, your culture and your heritage. And, you know, and you got to recognize the difference between your heritage and your race, you know. And, you know, I'm not so much caring about the race so much, because we all one race, the human race. But when me and my father was talking, he was explaining that we all the human race. It's not so much the race that's the problem. It's impossible to be racist because we're all humans. But the problem is when we're racist against each other's cultures, prejudiced against each other's culture, when we're really supposed to bring them together and learn about one another's culture. That's one of the marvels of this world, that we can travel all over the world and learn about different foods and different styles and different situations, different music, different cultures. So this is what the mankind is, the diversity of mankind is about. Not so much about our race, you know, because the color of our skin and where we come from don't make us a different race. It just, that's the way we identify because of our desire to conquer one another. And I say us, not meaning me in particular. I wouldn't even do it like that, but that's the way the world is. You know, we can't deny evil, you know, even if it's among us. So we was talking about that in the movie, in relation to the movie. And also we was talking about, you know, how every white person in Hollywood is predicted as, you know, American. You know, you got Batman, you know, he lives up in the hill or wherever, and he's in the cave, and he's a Gotham City, and he's a great American. You know, Superman. But when it comes to a black man, they finally have a black star that's viral, and he's an African, you know. And I told my father, he didn't mention this, but I mentioned that after he brought that to my attention. I said, you know, it's funny when you think about it. Our president, supposedly the first black president, was African, you know, because we identify our race or our culture by the father. The father is African, the son is African, the daughter is African. So that was just something I wanted to share with everybody, man. Say peace. Say peace. Say peace, world. Say we are the human race. Say defense first. Defense first.
Defense first.
Peace.